Hi my beautiful people, it's Yana and I'm back today with yet another video. And today we're going to be watching a set of very scary videos I found on the internet that are 100% gonna freak you out. Because let me tell you, they freak me out every single time. So if you guys are excited for this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it.
In the following video, a group of friends are having a small gathering as they all collectively sing to a song of worship. The person recording pans around the room to capture this harmonious ceremony, thinking that this evening will end well. But little did they know that something would happen during this gathering that would haunt them forever. Be sure to pay close attention, as no one had noticed it until looking closely. Take a look. As the camera pans over to the hallway, a shadow-like figure can be seen bolting down the hall at a speed beyond human capacity. Its rapid movement and dark appearance were enough to leave the family extremely unsettled.
I'm gonna be honest, at first I had no idea what he was talking about. I personally did not see a shadowy figure at all, but then the second time when they slowed it down, it really does look like some sort of dark energy or aura flying past the hallway, which is especially scary when you consider the fact that they're singing a song of worship.
Viewers believe that this ceremony might have had something to do with the sudden appearance of this figure. They can't help but think that this may have been some sort of dark entity that was provoked by the ceremony. Not much info is given on this video, so it's hard to be sure if that's so. But whether paranormal or not, the sudden appearance of this dark figure is creepy alone. Just what exactly was caught on camera?
My first guess would definitely be that the ceremony somehow provoked the spirit, and what we actually saw was the spirit running or being pushed out of the house. So hopefully this whole thing actually made sure to get rid of any spirits in the home. Because let me tell you, there was definitely something in there with them.
There's a place in Mexico that used to be known as the Disneyland of Latin America. Reino Mágico was a small theme park that opened in 1988 and closed only a few years later after multiple fatal accidents took place inside the park. It's unknown if the park had shut down for this reason, but some believe that the park had closed its doors for the simple fact that many visitors reported paranormal experiences while being there. This isn't surprising to some people, as the park was built on a cemetery. Urban explorers are certainly creeped out by this fact, but they're even more creeped out by the statues that were left behind.
But what genius thought of building a theme park on top of a cemetery? Theme parks are supposed to be this fun, happy utopia, and you're building it on top of dead people? Like, obviously you're gonna get some paranormal activity.
Rumor has it that the statue of Snow White is haunted. Nightly visitors have reported seeing the statue in a spot that was not the same as where it was originally seen. It's as though it moved on its own. One night, a group of friends visit the abandoned theme park when something very strange is captured on camera. Take a look.
Güey, ese es el velador de... ¿Es el velador, no? Ah, velador. ¡Ey! ¡Velador! Aguanta, aguanta, espérate, ey. Shh, no te muevas. No mames, no te muevas ahí. Güey. ¿Velador? Ese no es el velador, güey. Güey, no es el velador. No. No, aguanta. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey. Eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. Perdón.
Okay, from a distance, that looked exactly like the Snow White statue just walking through the park. At first, they thought it was a security guard, but I really highly doubt it, considering it was someone that was very clearly in a dress. And a yellow one at that, exactly like Snow White. Something about abandoned theme parks at night is really terrifying as it is, but haunted ones on top of graveyards? That is definitely just a recipe for disaster.
Güey, ¿fue aquí? No digas mamadas, güey. Mire. No digas mamadas, güey. Yo la vi moverse. No, Dios. No.
Dude, that looks exactly like the thing that walked across the camera. I really do wonder why the ghost is deciding to possess the statue of Snow White. And also, can we talk about how freaking terrifying the statue looks? If I was a kid, I would not want to go anywhere near that thing. That Snow White does not look friendly at all.
¿Crees que haya sido ella? No mames, güey, no mames.
Feeling beyond spooked, the group sees what looks to be another person inside the park. But as they look closely, they see that whoever this is appears to be wearing a dress. They continue to watch and notice that how they walk is a bit strange. Fast forward to the group seeing the statue of Snow White, and it's at this point that they realize the color of its dress is the same as the one worn by the person they saw. Could it be that the so-called person was actually the statue moving on its own? The group seems to believe this, but of course, it isn't certain if that's the case. Had the group actually seen the statue moving on its own, or was this something else?
Listen, if 2 + 2 is 4, then it was definitely Snow White that they saw walking around the park. At this point, it is very clear there is something weird going on with this statue. Definitely comment down below what you think. Was it the statue that they saw walking around, or was it just a security guard?
The following video comes from a man named Bobby, and in this footage, Bobby is standing outside of his daughter's room where a strange noise was just heard. He checks on his daughter to see if she's okay, but hesitates to go inside. There's something in this room that scares him. Now, Bobby is someone who I featured in a previous video. Bobby and his daughter live inside an apartment where strange and unexplainable things have been happening for a while. From toys that seemingly move on their own as though possessed by something, to the sound of footsteps coming out of nowhere, this small family has had a fair share of unusual experiences.
Okay, so right off the bat, it is clear that this family lives in a very haunted apartment. But can we also talk about the amount of Annabelle dolls that they just have lying around? I mean, the dolls definitely elevate the creepy factor by a whole lot, especially because of the fact that one of them was very clearly moving. Those things really freak me out.
But at least y'all caught that part. Yo. No, I'm good.
Bobby believes that his home is being haunted by the spirit of a little girl who previously lived in this apartment. According to his landlord, the young girl passed away from cancer. Viewers believe that the little girl is trying to play with his daughter since most of the activity occurs in her bedroom. One day, Bobby's daughter is taking a nap when a strange noise is heard from inside her room. Feeling a bit scared, he takes a look and captures this.
What is that? See, it ain't my daughter because she's napping right there on the bed. It sounds like her closet door though.
So the spirit of the little girl is just going around the apartment and playing with her toys. We saw that in the last clip, she activated a little robot and made it move. And now in this clip, there's paranormal activity right in the daughter's room. It really does look like the spirit of the little girl is just trying to play and hang out, but it is creepy nonetheless.
She's snapping right there. I'm trying not to wake her up. I don't know what that was though.
way that just made my heart literally drop. I can't even explain it to you. I was literally watching the video. I was like, okay, is something else gonna happen? Like, was it just the little taps at the beginning? And then out of nowhere, the freaking closet door just flies open. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay, things really took a turn right there. I can't lie though, if I was him, I would grab my child and get the hell out of there.
Come on, man. You need to get out of her room. Dude, I'm telling you, that thing was closed, right? Come on, man. Now why is she sleeping? Man, I am good on that. You need to get out of her room. Play somewhere else. What the man?
So he keeps repeating for the spirit to get out of his daughter's room, which is really good because you gotta set boundaries even with ghosts. I really can't believe this guy just has a ghost living in his closet.
As Bobby walks over to his daughter, who's a heavy sleeper, the closet behind him opens by itself without warning. Considering how often strange things happen at home, Bobby is used to this, which might explain his calm demeanor. He waits patiently for something else to happen while keeping an eye on his daughter. Fortunately, nothing happens, but this incident was enough to keep Bobby on his toes. He continues to watch over his daughter in case something like this happens again. Just like the previous incidents, this mysterious occurrence has yet to be solved.
I mean, in these situations, I feel like the only solution is really to move out. And it seems like for them, the paranormal activity has become very reoccurring. Like, they're basically roommates with the ghost at this point. I have to say though, that is very intense paranormal activity, especially for the fact that they're saying the spirit is a little girl. Because I'm not too sure about that. Like, the way that closet door flew open was very aggressive. It's not giving little girl energy, it's giving demon energy. I don't know, comment down below what you think.
On June 9th of 2023, an unsettling video was posted by a girl named Pupe who was home alone when something pretty terrifying was captured. The video starts off with Pupe lying on the couch before she suddenly realizes that someone or something is in her house. She was on her phone when she glanced over at the corner of the room and saw what looked to be a person standing completely still. Someone was watching her. Although freaked out at first, she began to laugh as she had a feeling that this was either her friend or boyfriend who was pulling a prank. But little did she know, this wasn't a prank. A mysterious presence has invaded Pupe's home. The following is her video. Watch.
The concept of being watched is absolutely terrifying. I'm actually very scared to watch this one, so I need all your moral support. I absolutely could not handle it, let alone record it like this girl did. Good job, girl, because I know I could never. At that point, the fear is just taking over and I am on full autopilot. What happens from then on, I have absolutely no idea.
Qué miedo que das. ¿Qué haces? ¡Ey! ¿Quién sos? ¡Andate de mi casa!
Isn't it so crazy how at the very beginning of the clip, she was 100% convinced it was just like a friend or her boyfriend, which makes it 10 times scarier because she's literally joking around with it at first until she notices like, okay, this is definitely not someone I know and they're in my house.
Right when things are getting tense, the video ends abruptly. It's unknown as to what exactly happened afterward, but one can safely assume that Pupe was left extremely terrified. Now, Pupe has posted some videos after this incident, but in neither video does she go into detail about the events of that night. Perhaps this incident was so disturbing that Pupe is trying her best to forget about it. Although it's unclear as to what exactly was captured, There's no doubting that the video she took is just downright chilling.
I really hope she called the police because clearly someone was in her house. It's not really giving me like ghost vibes. It's more so giving me stalker vibes. I feel like someone may be following this girl around and they fully entered her house. Which, hello, you can't just freaking do that. Some people are freaking crazy, man.
It's late at night when a mother and daughter arrive home. The security camera at the front entrance records them pulling up to the gate of the house when out of nowhere, something very strange happens. This video was posted by Mary Carmen, the daughter in this video, who lives on a small farm with a lot of animals. Now, the animals on this farm would do things that would make her feel as though she were taking care of children. To her, this place feels more like a daycare than a farm. But the biggest child, according to her, is her dog, who's known as Scott. From dancing with his so-called mom to going on boat rides whenever he gets the chance, Mary Carmen has a special place in her heart for Scott. But unfortunately, one night, something happened that left her completely devastated. She had come home with her mother after having dinner at a relative's when she found Scott lying in his bed. He seemed unusually quiet, which he never was. Scott had passed away.
Okay, why didn't anyone warn me that my heart was gonna get broken during this video? Poor baby Scott, I feel so bad. However, I am really curious to see how Scott is involved in the story. I bet you he tries to communicate with her.
Now, it wasn't until grieving for days on end that she finally looked at the security cameras that captured Scott's final moments before passing. Based on the footage, he passed away only a few hours before Mary Carmen returned home. He was already gone before she came. But after looking at the footage of when she arrived, she immediately noticed something strange. What was captured had brought her to tears.
A video would bring me to tears, but here we are. You guys, it is so obvious that the spirit of the dog ran out to say hello, which is just so freaking sad. I did not expect this at all, but at the same time, it's so wonderful to see because you can literally see the shadow like running towards them.
A strange figure that looks to be a dog suddenly appears on camera. Mary Carmen believes that this may have been the spirit of her dog, given that he just passed away that same night. According to her, he seemed to be waiting for her to return home before departing. It's as though he wanted to see her one last time before going away forever. To this day, Mary Carmen watches this video to remind her that even though Scott is physically gone, he is still with her in spirit.
Do you guys think that that was the spirit of her dog going to say goodbye one last time? That footage is definitely unexplainable because you can very clearly see there is something approaching her, and it really does look like a dog. I did not expect a video today to pull on my heartstrings like this.
On May 24th of 2023, at around 10 p.m., a baby monitor captures something pretty spooky on camera. This video was posted by Marquette Jean, who's concerned for the safety of her daughter, as something very strange was captured inside her child's bedroom. The video begins with her daughter, who appears to be staring blankly at the window that's behind the camera. It's unknown as to what exactly it is that she's seeing, but whatever it might be, it seems to have her full attention. She continues to stare at this window, when suddenly, the camera picks up movement from inside the room. But, as we can see in the footage, nothing is moving. Now, the family used to have a cat, and the camera would often pick up the cat's movement, but no cat is seen here, as their cat had passed away in August of last year. However, as Marquette watches the baby monitor, this happens.
Is there a cat in here? Is there a cat in here?
No.
Oh, sorry. Love you, good night. Are you okay? What's wrong? No, it's okay. I was just checking on you. Good night. I love you.
It's scary.
Huh?
It's scary.
You're scary?
Huh?
Why?
It's a monster. And it's really scary.
There's no monster in the window. I'll look. See? I'll look.
Okay, there are multiple things to address here. First of all, there was very clearly a cat at the very beginning of the clip. It looked like it appeared out of nowhere on the floor and then jumped up onto the changing table. We haven't seen very many animal ghosts on this channel, and then in one day we get two, which is very interesting. Also, the girl was saying that there was a monster in her window and she was scared. As a parent, can you imagine your child saying to you that there's a monster in the window and then you're the one that has to go and check if there's actually a monster there? That would stress me out so much. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. That's too much pressure, because like, what if there is a freaking monster there? All jokes aside though, something must be going on in the room because the poor girl is very scared, so she must be seeing something through that window.
Upon seeing a strange cat-like figure on the baby monitor, Marquette bolts into the room and asks if a cat is in there. Confused as to what her mother had seen, Marquette's daughter replies no, but says that she's scared. According to her, there's a monster at the window.
There's no monster in the window. I'll look. See? I'll look.
Marquette checks the window and finds nothing there. Although creeped out by her daughter's response, she's more unsettled by the supposed apparition caught on camera. The family believes this may have been the spirit of the cat that they once had, but later passed away due to cancer. Whether ghost or not, Marquette and her daughter are shaken up by this footage.
The apparition in the video very clearly looks like a cat, so I don't really know what else it could be. I actually find it really interesting how it was just like jumping around the room, probably playing. It's definitely a very bizarre and cool thing to catch on camera, but I know I personally would still be very scared.
In the following video, a man named Win is washing dishes in the kitchen when he hears a strange noise coming from his basement. This basement, according to Win, is a place that he and his family avoid entering at all costs. There's something about it that isn't right. Now, not too long ago, something happened inside this space that neither Win nor his family could explain. As Win states, he was by himself in the basement when out of nowhere, a small swing he had recently bought began to swing on its own. Although not really sure how to explain this, it would be the following incident that occurred only days later that leaves him extremely baffled.
I mean, to be honest with you, just that alone is leaving me very baffled. That thing fully swung by itself. That is so scary. If I was alone in that basement, I would have ran out of there so fast.
While being alone at home with his son, a loud banging noise on the basement door is suddenly heard. But when he checks to see as to who or what was banging on the door, he finds no one there.
Did you get it?
Understandably, this occurrence has left the family feeling thoroughly petrified. But, as if that wasn't enough to freak them out, the following video captures this. Win is down in the kitchen washing dishes when his dog starts barking at the basement door. He immediately takes out his phone and begins to record.
Go lie down. It's okay. Lie down. Stay. Been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey buddy. I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out.
Okay, wow, so there is a lot of paranormal activity in this house. So much so that this man has resorted to just straight up telling the ghosts, like, can you please stop? And clearly the ghosts do not plan to stop because they're opening the freaking doors and they're flickering the lights. In that first clip, the banging sounded like it was right up against the door and he opened the door right away and literally nothing was there. How do you explain that? That makes absolutely no sense. And it was very violent, aggressive banging too. It's making me think this isn't a very friendly ghost.
I'm just gonna set it up, paper towels, and we'll just let the phone roll. I asked you if you gotta go or you gotta go downstairs or something. Wherever you're gonna go, you gotta go. Calm down. He's okay. Please, not today. Just, holy cow. Oh my God. Little buddy.
Sounding fed up with the supposed spirit, Wynn begs the entity to stop, but this only seemed to make things worse as the door to the basement began to continuously open on its own soon after. It isn't until looking closely at the doorway, however, that someone or something appears. Like something out of a nightmare, the shadowy figure seemingly fades into the darkness before reappearing again as a giant shadow. Feeling beyond spooked, Wynn is absolutely certain that he won't be entering this basement anytime soon.
I know I personally would not ever enter that basement again. It was one thing when the door was just constantly opening by itself, which was very creepy too, but that shadow walking up the stairs at the very end was so scary. It just felt like a very negative energy. I don't know, comment down below what you think. I really cannot imagine living with paranormal activity like this. I feel like it would be a lot to deal with on a daily basis.
This next video was recorded by a father who caught something pretty creepy while watching over his son. The father in this clip is known as Ricky Beadle, and it was sometime in the afternoon when he took this footage. According to Ricky, he was walking past his son's room when he heard him talking to himself. He was talking under his breath, muttering something that Ricky couldn't understand. It wasn't until listening closely though that he can make out a few words. Now, even though it sounded like total gibberish, his speech was similar to that of someone conversing with another person. It's as though someone else was there with him. It goes without saying, but the video that Ricky took is just downright eerie. Take a look.
Elliot, what are you doing? Oh, that's cool. What's that? What's that in the corner?
The man hanging.
Oh, why have you drawn that?
Okay, this child just told his father there is a man hanging in the corner of his bedroom. I don't know about you guys, but this is raising every single red flag for me personally. Clearly that child is seeing some sort of demon in that room, and I think it's time to move out. A man hanging? Are you serious?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What does he do?
You know this man tonight?
Why?
Because he does this.
Oh, really?
But I'm not allowed to tell anybody.
Okay.
As if watching his son behave strangely wasn't already creepy enough, he shows him this, a portrait of someone that only his son is able to see. But eerily, this supposed person appears to be hanging by a noose wrapped around their neck. Ricky points the camera to where the so-called hanging man is apparently seen, but as expected, nobody's there. Or so it seems. Ricky's child seems pretty convinced that the hanging man is real, but for some odd reason, he's not allowed to talk about him. Now initially, Ricky wasn't really sure how to feel about this. It was only after the following incident, however, that he grew very concerned. Ricky is once again looking after his son when he hears him talking to himself just like before. He promptly reaches for his phone and captures this.
Stop it.
Elliot, what are you doing?
I see the man hanging.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right.
He's crying, and I keep saying stop it.
Is he crying?
Yeah.
So this is the photo of the hanging man he's seen in the corner of his room. I'm going to ask him to draw it again when I've rubbed it completely off. Elliot, can you draw the hanging man for me like you did before?
No, because you'll tell me off at night.
What if I don't let him? What if you can sleep in my room? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Right, so what's these on his face?
Tears.
What's this?
Straight.
Oh, okay. Does he cry quite a lot?
Yeah, because he's got hay fever up there and he's up there
Okay.
in the corner.
It seems like this kid can tell you every single detail about the man that's in his room. The way that he looks, the way that he's crying, the fact that he annoys him at night and makes banging noises. And I feel so bad for the poor kid because he's so scared of this man. So scared to the point that he won't even draw him because he feels like the man is gonna get mad. Why is it that ghosts always want to bother little kids? Like, leave them alone. Poor kid is literally just trying to play in his room and there's a freaking demon in there. I'd be annoyed too.
I don't like because you keep saying he always bangs and you just...
Okay, thank you.
It was at this point that Ricky couldn't help but think that his son was seeing things. As some viewers have commented, perhaps Elliot is showing early signs of schizophrenia, but Ricky isn't totally certain if that's the case. Feeling unsure as to whether or not Elliot is expressing his imagination or showing symptoms of a mental illness, he decides to set up a camera in his room. Hopefully, what he captures will clarify this confusion. But to his shock, the following footage recorded this. Watch. Elliot appears to be speaking to someone when out of nowhere, his legs are seemingly pulled out of bed. In a state of disbelief, Elliot jumps off the bed and scurries out of the room. It seems that someone or something had tugged on his legs as though intending to cause harm. It was soon after watching this video that Ricky knew something was haunting his son. Although whether or not that's so, viewers agree that something supernatural was captured. But, as with all videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Is something haunting Elliot? Or is something else going on here?
So there really are a lot of options that could be possible with this one. It could be some sort of mental health thing, it could be paranormal activity, and it also could be the kid's imagination. But I mean, that very last clip, I mean, he fully got dragged out of his bed. How do you explain that? That can't really be his imagination. I mean, something had to have pulled him out of there. But alright, you guys, we have finally made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Comment down below which clip you found the most terrifying. For me, I have to say it was definitely the one where the girl was being watched by the stranger in her house. I don't know why, that one really scared me on a different level. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.